G'day web surfers, I'm Kabbaway. Now, we all know there has been no shortage of videos, articles, and anecdotes detailing the trials and tragedies which have unfolded this year, including catastrophic natural disasters, global pandemics, and social injustices. However, I wanted to take the time this New Year's Eve to discuss how such a horrible year has actually been pretty good for me. I want to start out by saying that the chaotic events this year definitely affected me in spite of what I just said. Particularly the Australian bushfires. They got within a half an hour's drive of us, and had the wind blown a different direction, we could have been in direct danger of it. We were on edge watching the RFS website all summer, and were ready to pack our stuff and evacuate it if things got much worse. Fortunately, the fires subsided, so we were safe. We were worried heading into this summer that things might get bad again, but so far we've been getting plenty of rain and mild weather thanks to the La Nina. So fingers crossed we're having a bit of a reprieve this year. It gives me great hope going into 2021 that at least we might not have to worry about any droughts or fires to kick off the year. Touch wood. The pandemic also affected my life, as it did for everyone, but I'll discuss more about that later. Despite all the tribulations, this year has overall been a huge breath of fresh air for me. I've been more fortunate than most others, and that's a fact that I don't take lightly. I've been given many blessings and opportunities this year, one of which was having a more flexible schedule and more creative freedom than in previous years. This allowed me to work on creative projects like my YouTube videos, music, and writing more often, leading to the huge influx of content in 2020. I got a new iPad this year, which enabled me to download a screen recording app and allowed me to improve the quality of some of my videos. And now I'm striving to be able to do the same with the TV screen so that the quality can be more consistent overall going into the future. Before the pandemic took hold here, I was able to see two extremely influential music acts in person, Sir Elton John and Queen plus Adam Lambert. Particularly with Elton retiring from touring, it was a massive privilege to have managed to see him live, especially considering how last minute our preparations were. Likewise, it was so surreal seeing Brian May and Roger Taylor live. And having never really listened to Adam Lambert before, I was blown away by his talent, and I see him as a worthy successor to the legendary, irreplaceable Freddie Mercury. The entire Melbourne trip was an awesome experience to share with my partner and friends, and we all had an amazing time exploring the city in the brief time we were there. Even though the pandemic greatly limited our ability to visit each other not long after this trip, the few times we could safely hang out this year were lots of fun and therapeutic. Check out the playlist in the card above to watch some of the shenanigans I've gotten up to with them over the years. Perhaps the greatest privilege I've had this year has been my fiancé, who I shall refer to by their username Takia. Ever since moving in together in November 2019, we've been steadily building a life together, including renovating a small, cozy, personalised home, which I might showcase in a video one day, when we managed to keep it clean for more than a week. Our occupations classify us as essential workers, meaning that our jobs have been guaranteed throughout the pandemic, which has been exceptionally fortunate for our financial welfare. In terms of personal safety, we've been extremely careful, wearing masks and social distancing in and outside of work, and timing our essential errands for less busy periods to avoid crowds where possible. Needless to say, it's gotten quite scary at times, but thankfully, we've been keeping safe, and we're now biding our time until the situation gets under control with vaccines and such. We got engaged in August and are now planning our wedding for next year. What we'll be able to do for our wedding will greatly depend on how the pandemic goes next year, but either way, we love each other so much, and I can't think of a better person to share my life with. We've been together for over 4 years now, and we're so excited to share many more years together. Another reason why 2020 has been a good year for me is because, in my circumstances, 2019 was comparatively worse. In fact, I don't hesitate to call it the worst year of my life to date. I I was in an extremely unhappy, stressful situation, which greatly affected my mental health, to the point where I almost didn't make it to this year. Escaping that and being able to live my life on my own terms has been so liberating and therapeutic for me, and I'm eternally grateful to be where I am now. I'd be lying if I said that I haven't experienced bad days this year, but overall, having much more autonomy and emotional support has been empowering and literally life-saving. And once things settle with the pandemic, I'll be going to therapy to help ensure my mental health issues are properly resolved for the sake of myself and the people around me. There's a lifetime of traumas and conditioning to mitigate, but I'm doing my best and trying not to be too hard on myself when things don't progress as quickly as I might want. On that note, I strongly urge everyone here to consider therapy after all the chaos and stress from this year. Even if you seem to be okay, at the very least, self-reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and experiences in 2020, and make sure to check in with your loved ones as well. I know many of us are conditioned to downplay our mental health, but now more than ever we need to look after ourselves and overcome our social conditioning. Don't feel ashamed for not being okay. Don't suppress your issues just because someone might have it worse off than you. If anything is causing you stress, anxiety, depression, etc., it is valid and in serious need of addressing to prevent it from consuming and claiming your life. Take it from someone who almost let that happen because she didn't want to be a burden on anyone. To everyone who struggled and suffered this year, I wanted to let you know that you're not alone and that there's always options to help things get better. Take things at a pace that works for you, build yourself a healthy, supportive network, and make sure to practice self-care in whatever way is most effective for you. Whether that's engaging in your hobbies and interests, practicing your spirituality, maintaining a balanced fitness and sleeping regime, etc. And don't forget to try and be as positive as possible. Be realistic, but give yourself credit for the good you've brought into the world. I guess that's my takeaway from 2020. A lot of terrible things have happened this year, but as long as we use this as an opportunity to cherish the good in our lives, while learning from the bad without downplaying it, we can objectively look back on 2020 without falling into despair and hopelessness. We can further develop as individuals, as communities, and as a collective whole if we approach this year's issues with compassionate practicality and do everything we can to fix them. As we head into 2021, let's not put too much pressure on ourselves and the universe for things to get better immediately. Instead, let's be cautiously optimistic, remember what we've learnt from this year, and slowly walk forward together to greet a new era in the story of humanity. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you all in 2021. Bye.